Settle in, my friends, and listen closely, for I have a tale to share. Once, in a time when the winds whispered ancient secrets and the mountains stood tall like the memories of forgotten gods, there lived a young warrior named Kaelan. His strength was unmatched, his courage known throughout the land. But within his heart, there was a quiet aching, yearning for something he could not name. Every day, he fought with the hope that one great battle would bring him the glory he longed for. He believed that victory came in a single, dazzling moment. The world watched him as he wielded his sword with unmatched power. But despite his victories, Kaelan felt an emptiness that no battle could fill. One fateful day, as the clash of swords echoed through the valley, Kaelan faced an enemy unlike any he had encountered before. The battle raged on, and in a single, fateful moment, his sword, a symbol of his strength and pride, shattered in his hands. The pieces of the blade fell to the ground like fragments of his dreams. Kaelan stood still, the weight of defeat heavier than any armor. His heart sank, and for the first time, he questioned everything he had fought for. Is this what it all amounts to? He wondered. One broken sword, one lost battle? But in that silence, a truth began to stir within him, a truth he could not yet understand. It was then that Kaelan, feeling the burden of his failure, wandered far from the battlefield. He sought solitude in the ancient forest, hoping the silence would heal his spirit. And it was there, in a peaceful clearing, that he stumbled upon a tranquil pond. The water was still, undisturbed, reflecting the sky in its perfect mirror. Sitting beside the pond was an old man, his robe simple, his hair and beard as white as the snow that dusted the mountaintops. The sage of the silent pond, as he was called, had lived for countless years, his wisdom passed down through the ages. "You look troubled, young warrior," the sage said, his voice calm, like the soft ripple of water against the shore. Kaelan sat down beside him, the weight of his heart heavy on his chest. "I fought so many battles, but each one leaves me more empty than the last. I thought glory was won in a single strike, but now I see the truth. The sword is broken, and I have no more battles to fight." The sage nodded slowly, his eyes reflecting a depth that seemed to see beyond time. "You speak of battle, but you have not yet learned the true fight. The fight for greatness does not lie in grand moments, but in the quiet, consistent acts that shape our lives." The sage pointed to the pond. "Do you see how still the water is? It has not been shaped by storms or grand waves. It has been shaped by the gentle, constant flow of time. The greatness you seek, Kaelan, is not found in a single moment of glory, but in the small, daily habits you cultivate. You must find the strength in the ordinary, the power in consistency." The sage gave Kaelan a small seed, no larger than a grain of sand. "Plant this seed every day," the sage instructed, "and care for it. But remember, this seed is not what will make you strong. It is the act of planting it, the daily commitment, that will bring you the strength you seek." At first, Kaelan was skeptical. A seed? What could a small thing like that possibly teach him? But out of respect for the sage, he did as he was told. Each morning, he rose early and planted the seed in the soil, burying it carefully and with purpose. Days turned into weeks, and yet nothing changed. The seed lay dormant, and Kaelan's frustration grew. "What good is this?" he thought. "I have planted it every day, but still, no change. Where is my glory? Where is my reward?" But the sage had warned him. Greatness does not come quickly. It is the small, daily actions, the ones that seem insignificant, that shape us in ways we cannot immediately see. Kaelan began to notice subtle shifts within himself. His body grew stronger from the exercises he practiced daily. His mind, once cluttered with doubt, became clearer as he read and reflected each evening. And his spirit, too, began to change. He felt calmer, more at peace with the world around him. Still, Kaelan's impatience lingered. gnawing at him. The seed had not sprouted, and he wondered if his efforts were in vain. One day, a storm unlike any Kaelan had ever seen rolled across the land. Thunder cracked, and lightning split the sky as dark clouds swirled in a terrifying dance. Kaelan, caught in the tempest, found himself once again facing a great challenge. This time, though, he did not charge into battle with fury or desperation. He took a deep breath, grounded himself, and moved with purpose. He had learned from the sage, from the quiet habits he had built, that strength lay not in wild bursts of energy, but in calm, consistent action. As the storm raged around him, Kaelan fought not with the reckless abandon of his younger days, but with steady focus, drawing on the strength he had cultivated through his daily habits. The storm, though fierce, could not shake him, and slowly his enemies began to retreat, unable to withstand his calm and unwavering resolve. Kaelan realized in that moment that the strength he had built was not from grand gestures or moments of brilliance, but from the quiet, everyday actions that had shaped him. The small habits, the seed he planted every day, the journaling, the exercises had made him stronger than any sword ever could. When the storm passed, Kaelan returned to the pond. There, in the place where he had planted the seed, a great tree had grown. Its roots were deep, and its branches stretched toward the sky, as if reaching for the heavens themselves. The sage appeared beside him, a soft smile on his face. "Do you see now, Kaelan?" he asked. "Greatness is not a momentary flash of brilliance. It is the quiet, steady work that you do each day. The tree you see before you did not grow overnight. It grew because you planted it every day, even when you could not see the result." Kaelan stood in awe of the tree, feeling the weight of the lesson settle within him. He now understood that true greatness is not found in the big moments, but in the small daily actions that, over time, build the foundation for something truly powerful. Kaelan turned to the sage, his heart full of understanding. "Thank you, wise one. I now see that it is the small habits, the daily acts of discipline that shape our destiny." The sage nodded gently. "Remember, young warrior, greatness is not forged in grand moments, but in the quiet moments of consistency. The small habits you nurture will, in time, grow into something far greater than you can imagine." Kaelan left the pond that day, his heart transformed. He knew that the journey ahead would not be easy, but he no longer sought glory in grand gestures. Instead, he knew that true strength lay in the everyday habits that would shape his future. Greatness is not forged in the moment of battle, but in the quiet moments of consistency. The smallest habit, when nurtured, grows into the mightiest force. As you reflect on Kaelan's journey, ask yourself, what small habits are you nurturing? Today, are you planting seeds for your future? If you want to unlock your true potential, it begins with the quiet work you do every day. Stay tuned for our next story, where we explore the power of overcoming fear.